love all the new events that they've
Yeah,
been
we didn't
releasing as
even
well.
mention that. Atia's blessing.
I love doing those little things. Getting online, okay, get the blessing, got the streak going, it benefits you in the game, getting more shards.
Getting more SLP, more fortune chests. What is going on, Axie fam? Elijah here, back with another video. Luckily today, I've got the Axie GOAT joining me once again. Meditate1437 back on the channel. Thank you for being here.
Always good to be back, Elijah.
Really quick though, before we get started, I just want to let you all know that I actually released an entire Axie Infinity album, and I just kind of laid it all out there. I got songs about many different topics. Ron.
Naming them wrong. When I have a son, I'm naming them wrong. I hold a bag, I can't go wrong. Ay.
1437 is in there.
MT8 so great, I barely can't see straight. You broke the gates and walk right through Grim Reaper. That shit true.
Got a song called Smooth Love Song.
And it's the little things, eating cheese and wine. If we were Axies, we'd be breeding more than 7 times.
And Outplay King's more around V2.
Outplay King, all my birds have hair and eggshell. All my foes don't end well. V2 God, that's been held.
So it's just something that I really enjoyed making. I hope you guys have either listened to it, or if you want to, it's all available here on my YouTube channel. Or you could just go listen to it on Spotify. You search for Elijah Flowers, you'll find me very easily, and then you can click the album, take it with you wherever you go, whether you're playing Axie or you just want a little boost in your mood. Hopefully this does it for you. Hit me with a follow as well if you don't mind. I have lots more music on the way. That's it. I hope you guys like it, and let's get back to the video. Why don't we just start with recent accomplishments from you doing 1437 things, which is just winning seasons. And although it wasn't the final era, you did get first in the epic era. I was really honored, Theban, that you decided to throw Meditate Elijah up there, but it was in fact yourself. So that was a really kind gesture. That aside, how do you actually feel about winning the season?
Honestly, it was a surprise to me. I didn't expect to win the era. I sort of just was playing something for fun. I didn't want to spend too much on the era at all. Just wanted to do something different. And surprisingly, I was able to just rack up some wins here and there. I didn't even think that I had the best team. Things aligned for me, and I just got to #1.
Well, we've seen you do it countless times before. It really inspires the entire community, to be honest. So congrats on that. And we're heading into the final stretch here. So I figured today what we could do is just talk a little bit about the landscape kind of immediately, what we're seeing on the leaderboard. We have Meditate Xiaomai at #1 right now. And the first thing that catches my eye when I look at this is the prevalence of Topaz. The domination that's been going on for many eras now at this point. I think it's 11 or so out of the top 15. Do you think that this is what we're going to see at the finish line, or do you think that there's something, I know you can't give away all your secrets and knowledge, but maybe you have some comments about the current situation here?
Yeah, I think Topaz is just a build that a lot of people already have at the moment, and there's a lot of really good Topaz Axies that are bred and pretty much at an affordable price. The runes and charms for Topaz teams are also not as expensive. Probably the runes are the most expensive part, but the charms aren't. For example, their counterpart Jinx has a lot of expensive charms that you have to buy in the jellyfishes, and then also the snail goo, that's the bug charm. So it can rack up a little bit more. I feel like a lot of players are kind of saving up for when there's more liquidity for the charms to buy it, but at the same time, if everybody waits and buys at the same time, then they're gonna skyrocket in price anyway, because there's only such an amount of runes and charms available. I will say Topaz is gonna be probably dominant throughout the leaderboard, just because of how strong the composition is and how available the best version of Topaz teams are.
That makes a lot of sense. So now what we're gonna do is take a look at the team that I played just briefly in the past era. I actually did not push. I was working on some other things and needing a bit of a break. But heading into the final era, I am looking to at least have something that I can play around with and potentially make a push with. So Theban's gonna help me out with that. But we had this before, which was like a very strong, I would say mid-level or even like high-level Jinx team in the Epic era. I was just missing, I think, Poppy Eyes on this backliner. At face value here, is some of this still usable going into the Mystic era?
Oh yeah, most definitely is. I think it really depends on what level do you want to take your comp into. Like, do you want to go the very extreme and have like all the pay to win stuff, or you want to just be like, okay, somewhere in the middle ground, you'll perform well, You're gonna have to play, a little bit better as well, just to like be able to compete with some of the other guys who might have a stronger Jinx team than you. I think the front bug is still usable with the Last Wish.
Okay.
I do like that bug because you can actually you have enough PP to be able to put 2 lazy snails on that bug, and you can put 1 paralyzing jellyfish on it as well. So you got 3 different curse cards that you can put apart from, the Jinxes that you already use. Biggest strength of Jinx is just to be able to shove as many curse cards into the opponent's deck as possible. And sometimes you want to play Garish and Parasite against certain matchups, but what happens is those cards don't actually put any curses. So when we put Lazy Snail and we attach it to our Garish or Parasite, we don't feel bad anymore using those cards in those matchups because we're still able to put some curses into the opponent's deck, even if it's not a Jinx. Our goal is to just disrupt their flow and just be able to be very annoying and win in the late game by just having this backliner who's constantly being able to heal with like Poppies and Garish and just staying alive with that one guy.
And the quote-unquote immortal backliner that you're referring to is gonna look something like this, right?
Yes, it will, but I will say that if you play
You want Regenerator?
Reptile, yeah, Regenerator on the back, it'll be a little bit stronger. And on the midliner, there's a few options. So if you want to go the budget build with the one that you already have right now, you can. Just getting this extra shield up with the Wicker Ward. If you want to go a little bit more expensive, you can actually play Gloomy Dice in the middle. So now you also have Gloomy that's going to affect the opponent's deck and be more disruptive. There is one more version that I would say can be good, which is using a plant version on the midliner instead of the Gloomy Dice, so that you have this extra HP with Gaia across the board, and that makes it extremely powerful.
Oh yeah,
they do. Yeah. And that's got a very big price tag on it, but I will say though, it's incredibly powerful. I feel like it's stronger against Topaz teams
for the durability.
Using the Gaia.
Yeah. So here's the sauce. I have this bug already. Looks great. Collect and protect. It's $16 on the marketplace. I'm gonna get this plant. I mean, this is quite. You would think the guy is quite a bit better, right, than Gloomy?
Gloomy Dice is like a high roll sort of way, right? Plus, it's a lot cheaper to play it. Where Gaia, is gonna be a bit more consistent for your comp, and plus because you're gonna be putting like 3 different charms that don't provide any defensive abilities on your frontliner. It's going to be helpful to have that extra HP from the Gaia. And with the frontliner having probably Last Wish, I actually like Last Wish a little bit more than I like Collect and Protect.
Really?
You don't really need the extra cards.
Yeah, you
that
don't.
much.
That's true, especially because when you play this team, guys, like I don't know if you have yet or not, with the new mechanism of just retaining cards, you just retain all your curse cards the first cycle, right? And you make sure that you get all of them in. And it's never really a problem from that perspective. Yeah,
and that just makes it so much stronger. But right now, I will say that bug is looking very cheap.
Super good.
Or a comp that's like pretty strong.
Yeah.
Assuming you can afford all the charms that need to be played with this team.
For sure. Okay, so Theban, let's throw this Jinx thing away for a moment here, okay? Because there is a lot of components. Jellyfish cost $30. If you weren't already playing Jinx, it's probably tough to get started at this point. And also, maybe I want to completely shift perspective and go with the motion of Topaz, play faster games, skyrocket up, and I think even like you said before, perhaps save some money. I think it's a cheaper option actually over Jinx right now, which is interesting. So help me out here in building a solid Topaz team. Let's look at maybe first of all, if I was wanting to stay within budget, what is it that I need to be going for here?
Yeah, so if you're looking to stay in a budget, like I would say you could probably build one within $100, like an entire Topaz, mainly because you get the free Mystic Rune if you played. And with the free Mystic Rune box, I would probably say your best choice is to open up a Last Stand from the deck. And then we can just run a frontliner with Leech, and we can run a midliner with Heaven's Echo if we really wanted something super budget.
Okay.
But obviously, the better version to that, or maybe you wait throughout the season and you want to upgrade your runes, you can always go into Collect and Protect for the front, and then we can get Holy Prayer for the midliner Dawn.
So why don't we move right into that then? So you kind of touched on what they can do. It's Leech and then Heaven's Echoes, right? If you guys want to go budget, you go that route. Let's build then something for me to go out and buy that's maybe a little more expensive but can push quicker to that like top 50, top 100 range potentially.
Yeah, so right now there's two versions of regular Topaz build that is not using Endless Anger. That's with Cottontail and without Cottontail. So the Cottontail version is going to be much more difficult to build just because the Axies aren't easy to find. So I will say let's just go for the regular Nemo version. And then if you really like Topaz, then you can always upgrade into the Cottontail version.
Okay.
The most important thing is going to be, of course, your Nemo, Innocent Lamb, Topaz. That's the 3 cards across all Axies have to have 100%.
For sure.
From there, we're looking for a Bug, a Dawn, and a Mech. So those are the 3 classes for sure. For the backliner, we have a few options, right? We can go either Garish or Goldfish on the back Axie.
What do you think's better?
So personally, I like Garish just because you get to have that free retain, and when you do go into your last stand mode, you're going to be able to have that card ready to just be able to do damage.
And we need a mech here, so for the back.
Yeah, so I also kind of like Bumpy on the front line, on the back line at the moment, just because it lets us be able to taunt to the mech, and this way, the first turn, when our Collect and Protect is on the front without a shield, is not going to take damage.
So with that extra reptile part, we get to use Gecko Mask here on Bumpy, and we're searching for the mechs only. So for now, I'm just going to go ahead and get rid of the Dawns, the Bugs. We have Bumpy, we have Garish, we have Nemo, Topaz.
And now for the mount part, we're definitely going to want to have some kind of a damage part. So let's look at whatever has the most amount of damage. Look at these Axies. They're so incredibly cheap.
They are. How about Risky Fish? That's not bad.
It is the Goldfish one. So yeah. I don't mind it. I don't think it's bad to play Goldfish. It just means that we'll have Garish on our other Axies instead. Because we're obviously also trying to stay within budget. The Risky Fish one is nice. I like the Hungry Bird one down there for $15. It'll help you against a Jinx matchup as well. So that's going to be nice. So, you have a few options already available just looking at this screen at the moment.
I'm going to go with this one for now. You do prefer the Garish. So actually, you know what? I'm going to go with this one. I'm going to get rid of the Goldfish. That's more of a budget if anyone's out there looking for it. I'll spend a little more for the upgrade. That'll be my backline.
Yeah, and now let's go take a look at our midliner. So for the Dawn, I would say because we are playing Holy Prayer, we would like to have a Show Star on it. We don't need Garish Worm. We can have Goldfish instead on this Axie, or a Blue Moon. That could also be very helpful to be able to draw cards. We don't necessarily need like a double Goldfish. In the current meta. In the previous meta, we did need a double Goldfish, but in this meta, I feel like you can get away with just one of them. The Bumpy is not necessary on this Axie as well.
We need the Shoal Star, like you said. Yeah. How about our mouth?
It really depends on what kind of charms we might be able to fix on it. I like the Goda one. I don't think it's bad at all. It can be very disruptive, and it's right there for $17 at the top. We can look at some other options here as well. We'll go back to the previous screen. We got Risky Fish. The Piranha one does mad damage, so we like that one a lot as well. So I would say, looking at the screen right now, it's probably between the Piranha and the Goda.
I'm gonna go Piranha. Yeah. I feel like that one's speaking to me.
Yeah, that sounds good. So we got lots of damage from that Axie as well. And now we're gonna look for the frontliner.
Okay.
So for the frontliner, I think Goldfish is great. We're gonna put a banish on the Goldfish, and we're gonna use it right away. So our goal is to try to get to 10 stacks of banish. So with the Nemos and the Innocent Lamb, we can only reach 9 at most. So we're gonna need to have some banish charms on the other Axies somewhere so that we can actually reach the threshold, especially when we're not playing against Jinx teams. So the frontliner, we don't need Showstar. We can actually pretty much use anything because we already have the Bumpy on the back. We do need a Square Teeth though for the Bug.
Okay.
So the Square Teeth on the Bug, because we're gonna be playing the Bumpy onto the Bug, and with the Collect and Protect turn as well, we're gonna have lots of free damage. What we're gonna have here is we're gonna have the Goldfish be able to just banish away. And for the Horn part, we honestly can choose anything we want. Ideally, we do have a little bit more damage that we can also banish away from the Horn part. So I'm not the biggest fan of another retain card on this Axie. You already have retains with the Show Star, the garish, plus you're gonna retain all the topazes as well.
So what's a good one that, like you said, we can use for some damage and a banish as well?
Yeah, I mean, I don't actually mind using the climb shot. I think we can use that. I like the Arco one on that screen. So that's kind of the Axie that I'm currently using in a Topaz team I'm playing at the moment. Because I just like to have it. What we can do is you can actually put a degrade on the Arco instead of using a banish on it. That way you're not forced to play the Arco. But if you're playing against, like, let's say a sustain comp, you can always play the Arco if you need it.
So it's versatile.
Exactly. So we can just let that, go through the deck, like in your hand, just let it get degraded, and then the Holy Prayer will banish it for us.
So you really weren't kidding, because for under $100 here, it looks like I have a really solid Topaz team that I can take out into the arena and get started right away with.
Oh yeah, I mean, your team, we didn't even take the floor Axies for this stuff, right? If we took the floor Axies, we can actually buy all the charms as well and stay
under
within
100.
like 100
This
range.
will run me now, what, about 150, 200 with everything I need?
I mean, the runes are going to be more expensive because you're going for the collect and protect and the prayer. We can get the last stand for free from our choice box, or get whichever one is more expensive. I think the Holy Prayer actually went up in price over the last day. So probably you're going to have to take that one for free and get the other two out of the choice box. And I think, from the market, it's going to probably cost you about $120. So in total, we're probably looking at $250 for, like a really strong Topaz comp that has potential to be in the top 100 here.
Awesome. So we actually get to cover two compositions, Topaz and Jinx. Really some of the most popular here. Hopefully you got some tips depending on whichever route you're going on how to optimize that. I think we can probably wrap it up here. It was a really fun video for me to make to kind of get plugged back in to what's going on. I mean, what do we have left? Like 9 days?
Yeah, something like that. Just probably about 9 days out.
Will we see a 5-peat? I mean, in a way you sort of 5-peated because you got the epic era, but a true 5-peat in winning the mystic era. I think that that's probably the question everyone's asking. I mean, it's already been a mind-blowing run, but we'll have to see. Everyone needs to strap up, get ready for this push. And Theban, thanks again for coming on the channel. Any closing thoughts around Axie right now, the state of the game, origins, metas, anything you want to say?
Yeah, I mean, I think the game is heading towards the right direction. The game's just been getting better and better every season. The competition has been getting harder every season as well. I'm enjoying the game. I recently took a couple-day break. It was my daughter's birthday and her birthday party. So I had to deal with that. So I actually decayed a few hundred MMR, but that's okay. I'm just going to be able to catch up. I'll just play a few more games than I would normally have to, and like try to understand better where the meta is going this season. But overall, I'm very happy with Axie. I love all the things that they're shipping. I love all the new events that they've been releasing.
We didn't even mention that Atias blessing and the drops.
I'm actually very sad because I missed the blessing like the other day, so my streak is gone. I actually just couldn't get on the computer at all. I was just really busy, but now I'm gonna have to rebuild that. But I love doing those little things, just getting online, get the blessing, got this streak going, it benefits you in the game, getting more shards, more rewards,
more SLP, more treasure chests. It's super cool. They're crushing it. These are like the incentives that have to be handled very carefully, but are necessary to push forward this Web3 movement, this play and earn movement. And I just think they're really balancing it well right now.
Yeah, I think it's great. It's right now it's just the rebuilding stage, and just you just gotta buckle down and get ready for what's going to come next. And I think they're headed in the right direction in terms of onboarding the next generation of players, and also having something already really fun ready to go. Yeah,
man, definitely. I'm gonna get my streak started now that I'm like coming back from a break, and I'm gonna be playing some more arena games. I'm excited to do that and make more content. It's good to be back on YouTube, guys. Love all of you. Again, check out the music if you want. It's free here on YouTube, or if you're subscribed on Spotify, you can listen there, Apple Music, pretty much anywhere music's available. Thanks again for watching. Theban, thanks again for being on the channel.
It's always fun to be here, Elijah.
Awesome. And we will see you in the next video. Peace.